What do you see are the foremost issues a funded startup faces? Is there a post-funding guide that these founders should also start off prepare?
I joined Nykaa. It was a very one-liner interview. I was in Delhi. Falguni called and she said,
So, since you are the CTO at the Soul Store, how did you specifically scale the IT infrastructure?
"You really don't know how the customer is going to behave actually."
Hi, welcome to the Building Something pod. And today we have with us Anil Kabir Kumar. Anil is building Cralgo as a founder, where they provide CTO in a pod service for growing startups. Hi Anil, welcome to the
Hi.
show.
Thank you so much.
So, Anil, you have had a plethora of experience working with startup founders and
Right.
sort of helping them grow,
Right.
right? And we see a lot of these startups getting funding nowadays.
Right.
Now, obviously, some people think not enough and not fast enough.
Right.
But what do you see are the foremost issues a funded startup faces? Okay,
Right.
in its immediate post-funding days.
Okay. So I think one is the clarity.
Okay.
So what to do? Okay. So first, anyway, they focus on how to get the funding. Once the funding is there, so the things change actually, because whatever roadmap or whatever vision or whatever ideas they had pre-funding, the things change because there is an investor now, right? And there is a formal roadmap that has to be come up.
Right.
So people just get confused what to do and what to do first actually, right? Because they have like several departments, all the stakeholders are there.
Yeah.
So I think prioritization is something that becomes very critical for them at that time.
Okay.
And that is somewhere I've seen there are always gaps and there's lots of pressure also, I think, internal. But I've seen few founders taking very good steps actually while planning all this. But that becomes a challenge. Not a blocker, but yes, it's a challenge because you are answerable to investor and also you have to prioritize the things and you have to get the things rolling. There are so many people in the department.
Depending on you.
Depending on you, and also you have to align the budgets accordingly.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a challenge.
Yeah. Have you ever felt that when these people are sort of looking for their first round of funding,
Right.
they are so much engrossed in the process of finding the funding
Right.
that they are probably not focusing much on what they would do if they succeed, like
Right,
the
yeah.
immediate follow-up steps.
Right. Yeah, that happens actually. So first of all, the first funding, I think people are always, they're like whether we'll get the funding or not, right? So I think
Yeah.
the funding becomes a milestone for them.
Yeah.
It's a milestone.
It is
only.
supposed
It
to
is
be.
actually. And for them, it becomes an achievement. Okay, this is, we want funding and suppose they get the funding. Now, they get in the celebration mode, right? So, and then they get confused actually. Then it's a different story. But yes, they somehow don't know like what to do after that because they were so much into putting all the efforts, all the resources in getting the funding only.
Yeah.
But yes, if they have a good team, like the senior team that helping them, so I think they somehow like start helping once they have all the funding in place. So that just balances whatever the focus they have lost.
Yeah.
So I think this is how I
It
think
should.
it is okay only with the founder getting a funding for the first time, right?
So, one of the things that happens is we have all of these trainings that are existing out there
Right.
for new founders
Right.
on how to make a pitch deck,
Right.
how to pitch, elevator pitch, this and that.
Right.
Is there a post-funding guide
Right.
that these founders should also start off prepare while they're doing this? Any 3 or 5 things that they should focus on tomorrow if I do get the funding?
Right.
Within the first week, within the first month, and within the first quarter.
Right.
These are the things I should start working on.
So I believe like this should focus only one thing, that is like getting good people in the team.
Okay.
It's not about getting a proper senior guy. You may, depending upon what you're building, right? So what stage you are at. So you can just plan a maybe lead kind of person or manager kind of person, but some good guy, good people actually who can actually start helping you. So that is a very important thing. And once you have people in place, I think then the things automatically starts.
So you're saying getting the right people is something that they should start focusing on even before they complete the funding round.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So every startup gets funded at least initially to build a product, or at least to make it scalable enough
Right.
that it can sustain the good marketing that comes when they go for the second round of funding, right?
Right.
So the first round of funding is very important to build the
Right.
core product.
Right.
Now, what would be the main mistakes that they should avoid? Like
Right.
they should work extra hard to avoid.
So getting the things, people get this thing like it has to be perfect. So I would say like don't go for the perfection. Just build what is actually the MVP, what is required, right?
Okay.
And just avoid all the kind of expenses you can make actually. Don't have to make that perfect. Once you get the market validation, then you can have your own roadmap to build it, right? Again, in phases. So always why I emphasize like phases, because you never look how you really don't know how the customer is going to behave actually, react to your idea. So get the learning from the market and start keep on building. So the roadmap with the milestone is very important, with the clarity. So
Have you ever seen a case where something like this happened, where the founder
right.
got too engrossed in making the product perfect and never sort of ended
It
up?
happens all the time actually, because and which is good only because the team. This is where the team role plays a very big role actually. Team founders getting into this mode is okay because they are very much emotionally attached with their idea, and I really like that actually.
Yeah.
But the team who are the experts actually, who are being hired just for this role, right? They can always come with a very sensible roadmap or the actionable. Okay, this is what we should do, and this should be in a way, just discussing these, brainstorming these things with the founder. And founders should be respecting that, because anyway they have hired experts, so anyway they have to listen to them.
Yeah.
So this is where the team play actually comes in picture, and so this is how it should be. Founder looking for perfection is okay, but teams shouldn't get into that point.
Got it.
Because they are the expert, they know what not to do.
Got it.
Right.
Lovely. What you're saying is the biggest mistake that founders do in the initial stages run behind perfection. They should rather go for building something that's viable,
Right.
more viable and less perfect.
Right.
Is better.
Right. So going for perfection is okay, but yeah, if you have a team in place or people in place, just work as a team and get it balanced down and
rely on them.
Right. So at least you will see, okay, this is what I wanted.
All right. So everyone says hire fast and fire faster.
Right.
Do you believe in that?
Yeah, very much actually. But it should be done sensibly, right? Because hiring because you need help, right? So because you have started working on the idea, you need people actually who are going to support, which is good. But sensibly means like there should be a set process, like you should be very, much prepared in case wrong hiring happens, or you don't need this project maybe after a while or 2-3 months because you're doing some MVP, right? So you have to be just aware, okay, I'm going to maybe, so it could be contractual or it could be like your HR process should be in place. First of all, while hiring only, like they're doing whatever rounds you have to do, filter out to get a right person, which is good. But yes, in case you get stuck with something or something happens, so mistakes happens, right? Once people, not like in the interview, you will get to know how the people are going to gel with you, right? So so just take the decision whenever it is required. Okay, you can always, so it's not about firing also, it's about what you're building. So if it's not working, then you have to close that. It's not aligned with the roadmap, whatever you tried building the system or the function or the feature, whatever, right? So, or sometimes happens, okay, you're doing some innovations or some other stuff, trying some new things. Okay, you got the people not working, you can just stop it. But yes, some set processes should be there, so it doesn't look bad actually.
So that's the thing, right?
Right.
I personally have sort of struggled with this,
Right.
Where I understand the concept.
Right.
I definitely agree with it. And technically, there are systems in place, contractual employees.
Right.
You stick with them and then you turn them into FTs.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
But it is very difficult from a psychological perspective,
right?
Because firing someone immediately just feels like too much of a pressure.
Right.
So, is there any sage advice you could give to founders to how to deal with this on a psychological level?
So, the HR, the person who is the team, your team actually, who is helping you, right? So I think that person, first you get the HR or the person who is helping you actually right. And I think then they will set a process, because there are so many processes now, and even the HR hiring and everything has evolved a lot. There are so many tools, test filters, so many things are there. So if that is done, and after that you have to just let go any person for any reason, maybe. So it's okay, like, because like you did whatever required you did, now it's not required, so you can take a call. I'll tell you my example. I got someone, kind of my, suppose, guy became a right hand or left hand, right? Because you getting that help.
Yeah.
And somehow that person is not culturally good.
Not a cultural fit.
Cultural fit actually for others.
For others, okay.
For
With
others,
you, it was good.
For me, for my department, it's good.
Okay.
Or not good for others departments. So now for me, it's working because my job is getting done, right?
Yeah.
But somehow I'm losing that thing with the other stakeholders. So that becomes very tricky. How to
Yeah,
take
how
a
do you
call,
do that?
right? How to do it. Then you start defending people, right?
Yes.
And that's something I've seen that happens. And when in long run, I've seen it's a good decision to just talk to that person and get it fixed there itself. Because anyway, since I come from tech, so I worked in tech departments. Tech always act as a support function for all the departments.
Right.
So it should be very nice to everyone, listening to their requirements and giving them what they want, right?
So how did you deal with that person
Okay.
who was sort of good for you but not really good for the...
just change the thing that you are doing. Suppose you were change the role where you don't have to interact with the people. Just stay internally, work with your own team. And tech people I have seen, like, they are really not good here. So yes, I have seen these problems.
Right. And we will actually come to this later. So right now, because you have worked with these startup founders and even like corporates,
Right.
have you ever seen like an absolute train wreck of a leadership call, and you could just stand and see ki this is like a slow train wreck happening and it is bound to get destroyed?
Right.
Have you seen such kind of failure, and what is it that our listeners can sort of learn from it?
Yeah, I've seen, and that has happened in almost all the organizations that I've worked. And somewhere, as a tech person, I'll never say like it's good, but it happens actually. Because suppose as a founder, you get some funding, okay, and then you have to align the budgets. This is something I understand now when I move to later stage. Otherwise, I used to see what is happening. So you align budgets accordingly. You hire the team. You may go hire for junior people or junior team or smaller team, and maybe not so good tools and all, right? So you end up building something that will have to be rewritten like after a while, and everybody knows that. Even like founder doesn't know, like, but as a senior person or tech lead or tech manager or CTO, always just tell them. So this happens actually. So after a while, you're rewriting it. But founders really don't mind, because they anyway like get a next round of funding, so they have that roadmap. Okay, now in this roadmap we'll rewrite or revamp the system. So revamping is not always like building on top of something. It's most of the time we just discard the other system that we were using, right? But in a way it's okay, because anyway like whatever was required was expected from the system, that was delivered actually. So you move to next level. But if you do it wisely, then on the same system you can build on top of it and save that amount of money and the efforts that can be done. And that happens when you talk about the enterprise applications actually.
Okay.
Right? But with the modern tech, the modern e-commerce and all, where people really don't have patience, even including the founders, they want everything overnight,
Fast.
Even the marketing also. It's okay, because marketing running a campaign or they're planning something, they want it next week. So you really can't follow the actual software development cycle. So everybody is aware actually, even the tech team who has seen, who are trained to work on that model, but they can't because of this. But enterprise applications are built that way.
So you spoke about the allocation of budgets post funding.
Right.
So just to give an example, let's say I raise a pre-seed or a seed round of say $1 million tomorrow. Okay.
Right.
My MVP is there. I am technically profitable, for example, and I have gone ahead and raised $1 million.
Right.
How should I allocate that? Is there a particular structure of rough allocation of that amount in terms of percentages for each operations or each function?
See, it's about the North Star actually, what your vision is, what you want as a founder. And there is a very nice concept, OKRs, but nobody actually is able to follow that, the objective, at organization level. So it doesn't work, at least in e-commerce doesn't work. because of the same reason. They don't have the patience to wait for the process, right? Uh, what all should come from, should be driven from founder's vision. Actually, this is what I want, or maybe the long term goal or the short term, right? Should be aligned with that. Now, suppose if you want to actually want a product that is developed, you want to just have a product in place with a really good customer experience and with a real, stable features, everything. Then you can just focus on the tech and the product, and okay, you can put more budget there, right? Innovations and all. But in case you want, I want this revenue first. Revenue can be generated with the not so perfect system also. So accordingly, you can just divide the budget into marketing and the other departments, CRM or
So nowadays, AI is sort of everywhere.
right,
Everyone is talking about it. Even my
right,
washing machine has an AI button on
right.
it. I don't know why.
Yeah, right.
So in this time, have you seen a real good AI implementation in your work experience?
So yeah, so before the Gen AI or the AI hype actually happened, right? So we did a real good implementation in Nykaa
In Nykaa.
while working at Nykaa.
Okay.
So Nykaa, apart from the e-commerce that you see, they have content platforms also.
Uh-huh.
There's some 3 platforms. One is they talk about it's an article, blogs and all, beauty articles, right?
Okay.
How to and all these articles. One is the Nykaa TV where they post all the videos, the influencer videos. They call experts and also the real good videos.
Okay. Nykaa TV.
Nykaa TV. And one is the Nykaa network where people, all the customers, the users connect and talk to each other, kind of community.
Okay, community. Okay.
Right. So we really, so there were 3 different properties, but I built a underlying, single common platform. At that time, we used NLP or whatever AI module algo we could use, and it was so intelligent, like it was powering all these 3, and in a very unified way. Or whoever customer or user is coming, so it used to sense or gets okay, what they're talking, and it used to started recommending the relevant content. So engagement wise, actually it was really helping. And then the business teams started monetizing also from the brands, just by tracking what kind of talks or engagement is going on, right? So AI helped really creating that engagement in a way that they were able to monetize that from the brands. So I saw a really beautiful implementation, not just from the product point of view, not tech point of view, even the commercial point of view. And that was like long back.
This was like way before Gen AI came.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
was
right.
NLP.
NLP, right? It was like and some machine learning
Natural language
right,
processing.
right. And it was done in 17, 18, 2017 or 18.
Oh, that way back then.
Way back, right.
And you also were able to monetize it?
Monetize that, right? And also put sort of AI in the videos while video is playing and the products are coming under that video and people are clicking. Now it's very easy. You can find lots of integrations, but that time it was like we did custom. So it was nice.
So while the video is going on,
right,
a particular product is
it was
used,
watch and buy.
You could get a pop-up of this product is being
right,
shown.
scroll or something like. So now it's very easy. You can see everywhere, but
Right.
that time it was not there.
And this was on the Nykaa TV platform.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So you were able to sort of custom build that for you because it was your platform.
Right.
Nowadays, with I think TikTok shopping is there, that has become a big thing.
Even
in the US.
YouTube and all, right? You can find lots of ready-made plugins now.
Yeah, a lot of
them. It has become very easy. But that time it was a very fancy thing that we did, and it was really good. So why I'm saying real good, because product-wise, tech-wise, we were really happy that we have achieved something. Even commercially, it helped in the revenue also. That was a nice thing, right?
And on the flip side, have you seen any bad examples of AI implementations?
Bad, not as such actually, because AI has helped only. The only thing is you can say bad decisions, because not even bad, because if it is evolving, something is evolving. Even as an early adopter, you can always come in and put some money and see. So you can see I wasted some money because the things change, but it's okay because you learned something from that.
So you ever had that implementation in your own?
Right. So we saw something, so okay, we should be doing, and we came up with some use cases for the e-commerce platform only. In source store only, I did that. I hired some company and started working on that.
In Soul Store when you
Soul
were
Store,
working.
right?
Okay.
Or then we found like there were so many agencies already started doing it. So as a integration, you can always just go and buy that product, right? So, but take as a early adopter, you will get the learning, which is okay.
Absolutely.
Kind of investment,
Yeah.
but you get the learning.
And I mean, AI especially has been changing so fast that if you do something right now,
Right.
there is a good chance that your
Right.
investment might turn out to be technically a bad investment just 3 months from now,
Right.
because something might come pre-baked.
Right.
But
Right.
I think it's one of those things ki it is a part of a developing market, and it's like how I think Mark Zuckerberg said this, right?
Right.
That the price of not
Yeah.
expending that kind of money
Right.
and losing that money is way too high.
Yeah, it is actually. So in a way, you save those 3 months. What I feel is you
Yeah.
get the learning. Now you have the path. You know what to do, what not to do,
Right.
whether to use or not, right?
Right.
So
Or you can take that ready model and then
right.
iterate on it faster than someone else, because you are already so
Right.
far ahead in that
Right.
journey.
Right. Even your teams have used it, so there are some set processes now. You've already gained something out of it, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, so it's a good only, I guess.
And so have you so like, were you ever in a situation where you thought that the solutions that you have built,
Right.
okay, they're good, they're excellent, everything is
Right.
going well,
Right.
and right around the 90% production mark,
Right.
you were either told that, boss, this is not what is needed,
Right.
or you have had to pivot very hard,
Right.
and all of that hard work was sort of wasted? Have you ever been in that kind of a situation?
Not now in e-commerce, though, not exactly, because while working on enterprise applications, when I started my career, actually I started my career with enterprise applications.
Okay.
It was insurance project, and there are so many systems actually.
Yeah.
So we have to integrate, and there's huge data.
Correct.
And that data syncing takes time.
Right.
Some hours.
Okay.
Okay. So now like we have faster systems, but it used to take hours. So we did something, and I was there, very small team, 2-3 people, like database guy. I was from enterprise logic, right? That side. We built something, and we just reduced that syncing time to 1 hour something.
Okay.
And then reduced to 45 minutes only.
Oh,
it was a huge achievement, and for that we got the appreciation also. But somehow business, some leader changed actually. They couldn't understand that thing, and they stopped funding that team, that project actually, and it was discarded. And they were, I think, okay only because all the insurance company, they take time. You just fill the form. Next, it will take 2-3 days. So syncing was one of the part of it. So syncing taking hours is okay for them, but technically we reduce that for hours to 48 minutes. So I've seen that kind of thing. So at that time I didn't realize. So I said, okay, what is happening? Actually, why people are not? I got upset. But now I feel that business wise they don't feel importance. I don't know why. Maybe there's no one to tell them. But that kind of thing I've seen that happen.
I'm sure there must be some leader in some company who would still be craving for that time to go down right now.
Sure. Right.
So
the customer service and all, they'll feel really good actually if something is happening fast for them.
Absolutely.
Right.
So is this problem solved now? Or
I don't know. It was long back. At that time, it was discarded. They didn't use that project. Okay, so that whatever application that we built.
It's such a shame.
So I've seen that happens actually.
So when you were working at the Soul Store,
Right.
I saw that during your tenure there,
Right.
the growth was sort of exponential in terms of users as well as revenue.
Right.
So how did you manage and oversee the scaling up of systems with to go with this kind of a growth?
Right. So one thing I'll say, the trust that I saw from founder side. So I got the freedom to plan the way I wanted to. And other is like, so in the initial year when we have the stable system, even the founders got that bandwidth from the business point of view. So they started expanding their categories or focusing on the business side most of it.
Right.
So I think it was like that actually. That helped. So the things become very easy if at least the system is in place. Right.
So since you were the CTO at the Soul Store,
Right.
how did you specifically scale the IT infrastructure to power that growth?
So see, it was not just the IT infrastructure because you were on cloud. So it's very easy now. Actually, you're on AWS. We have on AWS. Yes, the only decision I made that I didn't go for multi-cloud or very fancy architecture knowingly, because this is something what people started doing actually. I saw like having a multi-cloud like Google and AWS and everything, then building a layer on top of it, managing some other tool, having internal team to help. So I didn't increase the maintenance
Got it.
stuff actually.
You didn't do things just for the sake of it.
Right.
कि okay, boss, just bring in redundancy because I want to
Right.
bring in redundancy.
Right. So it was not required, so I didn't do that. But I was aware that if it is required, I'll do. But it was not actually.
Got it.
So we didn't do. So maintenance wise, it was very there were no efforts to be put in. So it made that life easy actually then for the scaling.
Yeah, it's one of the most important things, right? To not overdo things.
To not overdo it, also when to do or what to do. What not to do is very important actually.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I've seen that tech ego with the tech people. Okay, they know something, then it has to be there.
Right.
Right.
They see or hear something and they're like, "Nee, I will implement this," and then we will.
I used to get whenever I used to visit the events and there were people from AWS also, like, or some other vendors or so many companies. They used to basically, why are you not doing this? Everybody is doing. I said, like, it's not required, so that's the reason I'm not doing.
I won't be doing something just because everyone is doing it.
Right.
And so when you were in this growth period, was there like a very tight monetary budget that you had to work with, or you had more of a carte blanche from the founders or from the investors? So, do whatever needs to be done. Type.
It was both actually. So see, when even it's a startup or whether we are in a startup phase, so we always start working on the cost management, right? And the monitoring has to be there. So as a process, it was always there. We used to have a discussion, with the founders. Actually, I used to have discussions. But yes, the freedom was there in the form of trust. They trusted that, okay, whatever Anil is planning or doing, like, it is good only. It was both. So freedom in the form of trust, and yes, as a process, cost management. Anyway, like, I've spent all my years with the startups only. So myself, I have got that mindset that whatever I'm doing, it has to be aligned with the cost, whatever budget and all, right? So I have that inbuilt actually while working with the startups. But yet at Nykaa, I got this very free budget also. But that I'll say I couldn't even use. It was that kind of freedom from budget point of view. I had a very huge team for content platform. Otherwise, I've seen people really don't spend at that stage, at least e-commerce, they don't spend much on the content. What Nykaa did actually, they had vision actually from the beginning when they were small. When I joined them in 15. They were very small, but still they had a content department.
Yeah.
Whole hierarchy.
Proper.
So Falguni actually had this vision, I think, since the beginning. And she knew like what she's going to build. And once I was there, so after spending 2 years stabilizing the system, then just Falguni asked me to just move to content platform, and we built that. And for that, I had a huge budget for just content platform.
Right.
So I got the freedom and the free budget there.
One of the secrets for Nykaa's growth was the whole content platform that you guys built.
Yeah, one of the right.
I think one of the commendable parts of this is that I know of competitors who tried to do that, tried to do this content first strategy and absolutely blew it.
Right.
We can show some on the screen actually.
Right.
That they over-invested in content companies. They couldn't operate those content companies. Neither they could use that value to make their original operations, profitable.
Right.
So in this case,
it's all about the vision actually. See, tech is one thing. I gave the content platform, it was one thing. Falguni aligned the same thing with the brands actually, because Nykaa is a marketplace, right? So there were so many brands selling the products. So aligning the same content thing with them and monetizing the content, right? And the team working on, from like calling all the experts. So it was a that vision was that big actually, and very much aligned actually to deliver something. They were not just a content from formality's sake.
Right. She didn't go saying, okay, someone has come and told her, okay, you should make content. So she just said, okay, let's make content for the sake of it.
It was not like that. No.
She intertwined it with her vision and had her own take on it.
Right.
And you guys were on board as well, right? With your inputs.
Right.
So when you were working at the Soul Store, were there any internal stakeholders
Right.
that sort of were your champions. They were there to support you,
Right.
not just from a fiscal sense, but
Right.
also from the sense of
So yeah, so there was the support from founders, I'll say. So like Vedang and Aditya. So
okay.
huge support from them. And whatever they trusted, actually, they trusted ki whatever roadmap or whatever ideas Anil is having. So
Was there a moment working with them where you
Right.
felt that after this incident,
Right.
their trust in you grew drastically? Was there any such dramatic or inciting incident that
It
you could?
was actually while while planning the things, which is very much aligned with the business what they want, and saying no to things whether okay, if it just telling okay, this is not required at this time, so let's hold. So they saw that very sensible way of having roadmap or milestones, planning the planning and prioritizing the things, right? So that thing they saw, I think, and that I think that is where I really gained the trust. Okay,
Any
they were,
incident you can talk about?
the
Example?
roadmaps I can say, the ERP. So see, all the that is one really good example. All the organizations by default they will start looking at okay, now we are growing, scaling, let's have ERP in place. ERP means a huge cost.
Yeah.
Okay, any ERP you go, any brand, and then once you have ERP in place, then there is some maintenance also. Like every month you have to spend something on the resources or customizing whatever, right?
Right.
So I was like against that. Yeah, we can always go for the ERP, but this is not the time. So whichever department requires that, we can build a custom workflow or application with them. And so cost wise, actually we really don't need a ERP for all the department at that stage. So only for the sourcing team we built something that really helped them controlling the workflow or documenting the things. Finance people, they already had a tool, and later on they moved to ERP, but only for one module. So we didn't have to pay for the whole ERP. That is something happened. And also there was logic, actually. I always say ki ERP means you always has a set SOPs, perfect SOPs in place. And in e-commerce, I'm seeing like there are processes, broken processes that is working for them, which is okay. Like because you're growing, you're scaling, right? You have very not so perfect team also, not so perfect processes also, all broken processes, but they are perfect because they're working for you.
Right.
And then it's a process only, with whatever is working. But ERP will not
Allow
cannot
that.
be, it will not allow. So this is also one thing that I always say, once get the SOPs in place, then you think about
Of
the ERP, right? Otherwise there is no sense.
Because ERP is going to inevitably force you to do things the industry standard way,
Right.
which is great
Which is great for not for you, actually.
if you are that organized.
Right.
But the reality is, if you yourself are unorganized,
Right.
you can't directly go into a structured system that is also automated, also digital,
Right.
and force all your team to just migrate
Right.
overnight.
Right.
So there has to be a middle place where you first build SOPs and do
Right.
things the way ERP allows you to, but in your style.
Right.
And then transition into.
Right. So that should be the way, actually. So there's no. So this is where I think then people feel this is where you gain the trust. Okay, now you saved the money. Also, you didn't go with your own tech. You like okay, ठीक है, I'll implement the ERP. And
you didn't show the typical CTO ego.
Right.
If I'm the CTO, I will just start implementing everything.
Right. So that is something I have learned in all these years while working with startups. So this is what I follow. So I think this is where I gain the trust also from founders. So same thing happened in Nykaa, where Falguni trusted a lot on me, and there were free budgets and all, right? So just because of this, okay, there is a very sensible way of moving that. And also, like whatever I'm doing, I do in phases also. Like there are milestones. Again, in phases. Phases means like you get validation from business.
Right.
And the alignment also. So that check happens, right?
Correct.
So this is how I work. So people see ki Anil to pehle se like he is very much, cautious, right? So I think this is where you gain that trust. They don't have to sit on you like, ki what you're doing with the budget.
Got it.
And if you're doing something wrong, which is not required.
So you're highly conservative with the budgets, and you're always looking at what not to do.
Yeah, what not to do. Budgets means like if it is not aligned with your business goal at this moment, then we don't have to do.
Right.
Then we don't have to put faltu ka budget in there. Right? So this is where you save.
You're trying not to get sort of swayed with the waves ki okay, new
Right.
thing has come, I as a
Right.
CTO should do because
Right.
it looks good on my resume.
Right. Yeah.
That I
Right.
went and implemented, let's say
Right.
SAP.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It might be a
Right.
great thing for you personally,
Right.
but
Sure.
not so great for the organization.
Right. Right. Right.
So that is one of the sort of key movements that I've seen, that startup founders always are sort of struggling with
Right.
wanting to standardize it,
Right.
do it,
Right.
but also being disorganized enough to not be able to.
Right.
So
Right.
how do you have any particular one liner for these kinds of founders and say, ki boss, go for structured if you are at this stage. If not,
Right.
then avoid.
See, it is all your North Star, the vision, right? Goal and goal, what you want. So if it is aligned with that, then you just go for it. Whether it's a customer service or the product or the tech or marketing. It's not aligned just for the sake that other brand or competitor is doing this, so I no won't make sense actually, right? So I think that's a mantra. Just be clear ki what you want, and it's very easy actually. And otherwise, I've seen like people in a conference room, they will have a meeting and they will discuss a lot, and once they're out of the meeting, then they're just doing something else, not even aligned. So this is the mistake I've seen like even founders make. So if you're clear, then it will not change. Even outside the conference room, it will not change. Everybody
Right.
will work aligned to your
On the same plans that are discussed in the board.
right, right. So this is mistake I've seen with all the founders, mostly all, right.
And which is also sort of a reason for a lot of pressure in startups, right? Like you
Right.
said, sometimes people would discuss and say, okay, this is what we're going to do, but the
Right.
execution never aligns.
Right.
And there is always this friction and this
Right.
extreme pressure
Right.
with funding,
Right.
customer acquisition, all of these
Right.
situations sort of converging, right?
Right.
I mean, have you ever uh, witnessed this kind of like high pressure situation at any
Right.
of the startups that you have worked at?
So it's everywhere actually. So see, which is a good in a way. Like you are ambitious enough, you are comparing with your competitors, or you want this, which is should not be a part of roadmap at this point in time, but still you are discussing, which is good. At least you know where you should go, right? It shows your ambitions also, right? But while working with a team, struggling with the day to day, and balancing it with the short term roadmap, actually, if that is not aligned, then it's a problem. That is something I've seen. This is where people miss actually. And this is something I've seen in my case also, like convincing founders, okay, day to day is okay, because everything is important only, right? Day to day is also important.
Yeah.
Aligning the day to day thing, whatever we are doing with the short term milestone or goal, that is also important. And this is where I think brainstorming and the reprioritization and everything, back and forth happens, and that is very challenging, but very much helpful also. Challenges happens when the team is not right, or maybe like one of the team just take a back foot and they're not even brainstorming, then the things fall apart. That is something I've seen happens. But in case as a founder or as a leader, as a CXO, if you are aware that this is what I want and this is also important, then these are the people who can create the balance. So that happens very rare actually, but there is one guy who can do this. That is who is the founder. Founder can always sit with all the stakeholders and okay, let's do this,
Got
or
it.
let's not do this. Right.
So it is always this founder's work to guide the entire tribe
Right.
and make sure that he or she is the voice of reason
Right.
in every room.
Right.
Because inevitably the
Right.
team is going to look at them.
Right. Right. So only thing for them here, the only advice, my advice would be for them not to get into micromanaging or just deviate from their own founder's role.
Okay.
Founder's role is like just stick with the vision they have and see okay what is happening. Just measure it, right? If they get into the micromanagement or they just bypass or they don't rely on the leadership team, then this problem happens actually. They themselves get distracted.
So before the sold store,
Right.
you worked at Nykaa.
Right.
And could you shed some light on the work you did there? And was there any particular piece of rollout that
Right.
you were very proud of?
Yeah, there were two things actually. So there is a story actually. When I joined Nykaa, it was a very one-liner interview with Falguni. I was in Delhi. Falguni called and she said, I'm looking for someone who can help me stabilize the system. The stability was the issue at that time. And I told her, this is something I've been doing. And it was a fact actually. I was already working with the startups and stability and the same thing. actually anyway, like I have seen there. So I had that expertise. We were very like 5 minute interview, and I just joined them. And the first thing was the stability. So I bring the stability with the system. They were a very small team, and there were only two servers. The tech people can understand this. There were only two servers running at that time. Only two boxes, small boxes for Nykaa. Okay, it was very small infra, right? Very very small. And there was a stability issues, and the team was so junior, not so mature enough to work on system. So I worked on that for a couple of months. I brought that stability. Then we had our first flash sale for I don't remember like clearly, but it was some 11 minute or some sort of revenue they wanted in within that few minutes.
Okay.
And the system supported that kind of stability we achieved within that. That was kind of achievement for Nykaa at that time. At that time in 15. Oh, and then so that was one thing, getting the stability and making system ready for the scale. So that was the thing I did as a VP technology, and CTO Sanjay Suri came in later actually after that, and then he really built the whole system.
Okay.
And second was the content platform, as I mentioned, the Nykaa Network or Nykaa Beauty or Nykaa TV, right? So that was the second thing. So two major achievements I really remember, and I really feel proud of. Right.
So when you said stability of the systems,
Right.
I mean, was it like about outages or was it
Outages,
about?
yeah.
Okay.
So there is a traffic, then site is not working.
So
That way.
concurrency, the systems couldn't handle concurrency much at that time.
Couldn't. Even the not just the infra, even the application. So
So
couldn't.
did you make any changes to the tech stack particularly?
So it's not that easy actually to just rewrite a
Exactly.
switch, right? So with the same stack, I fixed the thing. I had the hands-on actually. So infra side also, application side also. So with the same team, I brought in some one or two guys later on, but initially I just with the same team I just fixed the things and made it stable. So that was just with the same team and with the same infra.
It's a big achievement
That
even
was a big
for
achievement.
a startup at that time to
That
do
was a
that.
big achievement. So kind of story I remember.
And the second one,
That was the content
the content platform that you
the
mentioned
content
about.
platform so that was again a kind of achievement that is still that helped a lot actually.
I saw that you had a 2-year entrepreneurial stint
Right.
at EAI Analytics.
Right.
Like, how did it really help you to align your priorities in your corporate career? That's
Right.
one. And second thing I want to understand is, like, was there a change in how you looked at
Right.
or dealt with CTOs, CXOs, essentially, or founders,
Right.
now that you were one?
Right. So I started my career with enterprise application development from Bangalore as a typical engineer. So this is how I started. So my initial learning is all about it was all around enterprise applications. So
Okay.
and that is really helping till date because I got that foundation, strong foundation, right, of building the systems,
Yeah.
how system works actually, what fails, right. So that is still working, and so after working for a while in enterprise, I started thinking I should see the other side of it, how the systems are used. Because in enterprise, you don't get to see the end user, the business, how they are using it. You build the system, release it, right? That's it. So then I joined IndiaTimes.com. So at the time, I had two offers, I still remember. One was from Genpact, the typical hardcore engineer role, and one was IndiaTimes.com with a fancy manager technology role. And so I thought, okay, I'll join this because I want to see the other side of it, the business. I spent really good time there. So that was actually first e-commerce company. There was no Flipkart at that time. Only India Times, eBay, Sifi.com, Rediff.com, typical traditional e-commerce was there. So I had that e-commerce learning from there. And since I had this enterprise application experience with me, and then I got some learning exposure actually of business from India Times, I thought I'll do something, I'll mix up. And I saw the unorganized tech in e-commerce. I was very surprised how they are building. This is not how we build systems. But it was e-commerce. It was like, okay, just do this, and some jugaad and just give it. And this is how the team was working there. So I thought I should do something. And since I came from the enterprise, I worked with IBM technology and all. I was really good at integrations. I thought, let me start something on my own. And I don't know if it was a good or bad call. I think now if I see it was a good call only because I got a really good learning from there. I spent around 2 years, and I was like, okay, I'll just maybe put this my knowledge, my experience, and the enterprise architecture, whatever I thought, I'll make some product or some layer, and I'll just put it in the media or entertainment domain, because they were highly unorganized and there was no tech. This is something I
Right.
learned from Times of India Group while working with India Times. So I thought of doing that. I met so many people, media houses, and they really liked the idea, like NDTV and Hindustan Times. Everybody liked it, so I started working. But I didn't have the exposure of business actually.
Uh-huh.
I was good at building, but I
Okay.
was not good at selling, right?
Right.
So uh, I also had some product idea at that time. Okay, I'll do some sort of portals, content portals and all. And at that time, it was very new actually. There were no content portals, only uh, in the name of content, it was only blogs only at that time. There was
Right. Because that was a time where content used to mean blogs.
right,
If you have a website, you should have a blog so that it
right,
helps your organic SEO.
right. And this I'm talking about 2007 or 8. They were long back.
Oh, that is keyword time and black
Right.
hat
Yeah,
SEO.
right.
Time of black hat SEO.
Right. So, and then interestingly, after 1 or 2 years, OLX or Quaker, these kind of portals started coming in. So I thought, like, okay, at least my idea got validated. Okay, people are thinking that way,
Right.
right? But then Flipkart thing happened. Flipkart came in India. People started, and so many startups started coming in with all the modern e-commerce, right? The ecosystem started, coming up, like logistic partners, everybody. So then I joined two guys who were from India Times. They were doing something in e-commerce. They called me, so I joined them. So that was my journey as a startup. And the learning that I got from my stint was, as a business person actually. Apart from tech, I got that learning as a owner, as a founder, and that actually, and the kind of how you work with the money and all, that is something learning I got from there. So in a way, that's why I'm saying, like, that was a good decision. I started something, and then that learning has helped me a lot while working with startups. I have been always cautious about putting money and align. I have word used so many times, like in all the questions, like aligning the tech with the business. So this
Yeah.
is something I think came from there only, right? Okay, there's no use of tech if it's not helping
Right.
the
So
business,
being a
right?
founder yourself helped you to understand
Right,
that
very much.
tech cannot be in a silo.
Right,
It has to align with the business.
right.
Otherwise, it is not money down the drain essentially, but it's
Yeah,
not money well used also.
yeah, value is also right. There's no point actually, right? Because you're anyway, like, you're doing business, you want tech to support your business, right? As an enabler. So,
Yeah, that makes sense. And with such a long history of experience that you have had,
right,
so many, I think you have worked at like more than 10 companies so far.
right,
Was there ever a point, looking back right now,
right.
would you say that you would choose not to do any of those stints, or you regret any one particular point, or taking a
No,
particular
actually,
path?
that way I'm very positive person. I will say I'm very optimistic, also very positive, because whatever companies I worked for, right, somewhere I see them as a path. There was one company I just spent very some couple of months only, but I think that's a path actually, because the next step happened when I was there. So then only I got something else, right? So I think it was good only. So I really, I feel like every step was good.
Being a startup founder is obviously very, very hard,
Right,
right? So, what are you guys at Cralgo doing
right,
to take something off a founder's plate and help
right.
them focus on their business?
So one is uh, the confusions. There's no clarity actually, right? The confusion around what to build and whether it is required or not, whether we really require this tech, right? So owning the entire tech end to end, right? So this is something what we own as Cralgo, and whatever I have done in all these years, the experience that I have. So all that thing, that exposure, that experience, that is something I am just doing now as a Cralgo now, as you can say.
So,
Right,
this does still sound like a standard IT firm,
right,
which is not a bad thing. Like, it's a
right,
great thing
right,
because as a service it adds a lot of value. But
right.
is there anything? Is there like a particular differentiator that I'm not seeing?
Yeah, it is actually. So it's not a service company, and it's not even a one-on-one consulting firm or advisory firm. It is like, as I said, like whatever I have done in all these years. So that experience, so whatever experience I have had, I have sort of come up with some sort of frameworks. Okay, this is how it works, or this is how I can plug in and help founders. So for me, it is like, okay, I'm helping founders. I sit with founders. I know their pain areas. I know, well, I've worked with founders like since last 14 years. I've been working with founders only. So these 14 years, I've seen the phases, even the ecosystem, the tech, the customers, how founders think, how investors think, right? So everything. So now it's not a service company, not even consulting. It's like working along with the founder. So I just plug in Cralgo as a kind of co-founder only. You can say virtual co-founder. Just work on your problems and own the tech, align it with the business. So alignment is where people fail actually mostly.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. So aligning the tech, and also this is not what service companies do actually, right? So this is what I do as Cralgo.
Most successful startups like to keep their tech in-house,
Right.
right? Now, in such a situation, at least eventually,
Right.
is there a sunset period,
Right.
or is there a sunset goal for Cralgo
Right.
when working with newly funded founders?
Right.
And how do you transition? How do you manage a transition
Right.
into like the sunset period, and then probably being available for future collaborations?
Right. So, I see Cralgo as helping founders. So when you say helping, so helping in all the ways, right? It is like you helping with the strategy and entry, and then you just plan their budgets, align their technology, help them with the external agencies or integrations, everything, right? Then also help them build their in-house capability. Maybe starting with the managerial thing, okay, at least the manager should be in-house, tech can be outsourced, whatever, and then building the tech in-house. So gradually, so whatever the roadmap allows or whatever the vision founder has, right? So Cralgo is like all helping founders. Then we plan the strategy. So whenever at whatever stage they want, okay, this is the stage I want. So we will help building a team also for them, training, and you like as a whatever the process has to be followed in any software development process, right? That we follow. We have all the documentation and everything. I've got a COE team, Center of Excellence team. So the job of COE team is this only, maintaining all the compliances, everything, all the documentation, handholding, so this is why actually I came with the COE and the pod concept. So these are the framework just to support, all the transitions, exit, whatever the strategy we have, right?
Got it. So, if you are going to a founder and
Right.
you're telling them, okay, boss, we'll help you set everything up,
Right.
and if the CTO is scared that I don't want to be replaced by an outside agency,
Right.
what is your take in that situation?
Right. So it's not about replacing the internal team. It's never actually.
Okay.
It's like helping the founder with the whatever they have. They have team. So what happens practically, what I've seen in all these years is like internal team is all mostly fixing the day-to-day or the short-term or the monthly target or short-term target, whatever the aligned with the business, right? And in that case, what happens? They just the P1s or the P2s task or the features, whatever you have, or the innovations, right? New stuff you want to try. So that is something is sideline and nobody is able to focus on that. So that kind of thing we can always, as an external partner, we can always help. And even CTOs or internal team, they also need sometimes a third person to, help, okay, do some POCs or R&D or to help me with the team. Even the CTO will require a pod or, something to help. So we can plug in. So it's all about working along with them. It is not about replacing anything.
So, what is this pod thing that you mentioned?
Right, pod is like it's a team. So suppose we are at a starting stage, initial stage. So we'll figure out, okay, in this pod, so whatever we have agreed with the founder, okay, I'll put one pod, and in this pod, the people will be aligned who are going to help at that level. Once you grow and or suppose you want an innovation, so we can plug in another pod. They have some AI people resources or QA, whatever, right? So they can help with the innovation thing. So very focused actually. So pod ka duty is even the responsibility, the ownership is like those are first of all from COE point of view, from my point of view, they are like ROI-driven first of all. If you're paying towards pod, it has to be ROI-driven, and then their measurement is like whatever they are delivering, that is somewhere helping with the KPI. Right. So in a way, these are the pods very focused. They take a very focused approach, and anyway, like it's not a problem for the founders also because we are working on the ROI and the KPI thing.
Okay.
So this is the just to maintain the focused approach.
Okay.
Otherwise you put a single team then you just end up having PG rows in the list and P1, P2 are sideline.
Okay.
Right. So you can have multiple just to run in the parallel, right? You can run P1, P2 in parallel, innovation in parallel. So we can have different pods.
So pods are like teams of people who are also center of excellence plus execution, all rolled into a particular motive.
Right. Right. So COE team, the center of excellence team, I have kept as a separate team.
Separate team.
Right. Just to monitor all these, just to create, have the balance actually.
Right.
Just to make sure the ROI and they are ROI driven, the KPIs, whatever we agreed, they are making sure it is happening actually. The delivery is happening as per the KPIs. Right.
Right. And so while founders are working on the technology aspect, right, they're trying to catch up to everything from coding assistants to how people are evolving.
Right.
I've always felt that founders are lacking in certain soft skills, right?
Right.
So while they're working on MVPs on the technical side of things and
Right.
the market, target market segmentation, etc.,
Right.
what kind of soft skills or management skills or people skills
Right.
would you suggest young founders to cultivate while they're working on their MVPs?
So, people skill is something is very important actually that I feel, and it's not that easy because young founders I've seen sometimes they don't have exposure to, maybe don't have the skill, right? Suppose they are coming from different background, technically they have not studied about how to do people management. So the only mantra is like get a help to hire really good people. So only risk is like the person you have hired who is helping, that is the only one risk. But that HR or one person will help you, get really good people. And then the second thing is just rely on them. Okay, rely on them, just have trust on them, let them work, and just make sure that whatever they're delivering, that is aligned what you wanted. I think that is, so as a team only, I think you can succeed. And it really matters a lot actually. So because you have the vision, but you need people, like whatever tool or whatever in ecosystem is in the market, but you need people actually to help you. So for that soft skill has to come. In case you're not technically trained, just go with two things: get someone who can help you hire, then rely on them. So to start with, and then slowly you will develop that people skill anyway, like because while working with them.
Any particular pointers you could give them to start on that journey of developing soft skill? Anything they should read, write, do, interact, anything that they can do on a day-to-day basis?
Right. So day to day is like see, measuring whatever the delivery is happening, like you will just anyway, like you will see, you will validate, right? And something happens, something is going in a different direction. Just they'll have to calmly, sit with them and see what happened actually. Maybe it was a communication problem or it was the person's problem, right? So this can be sorted out. So only like just keep calm and just have discussions actually back and forth and just sit with them, and slowly I think they can get trained on that. But it is like all about working along with the team as a team. It's not be like you are a boss and the other team. It's not be like that actually. It will be like you have got helping hands. Okay, you couldn't do alone, so you got people and now they are helping hands. Okay, if you think in that manner, then you will get really automatically you will get a soft skill. Okay, how to deal with them because they're helping you. You will get that respect for them, right? So not as a boss you cannot.
Right. So rather than going for a top, looking from the top down at the underlings, you would rather go to them as peers who are looking to help you.
Right.
They happen to be on your payroll and everything, but they are there to help you. If you have that belief, then you're saying it
automatically the skill will come in. We will start. There won't be any conflict actually. Even you will get the mindset to work along with the team, right?
So while the founders are looking to hire their first technical employees or their first technical vendors, what are the things that these founders should look at while hiring these people? What qualities are they supposed to look at?
So one is anyway like technical skill is one. So whatever they want, they should be really good at that. So don't compromise on the skills, whether it's while in-house hiring. Budget, I know budget could be constrained, so people go for a less mature team or something. See, you can always go for junior team, not a problem, but have someone then as a manager or tech lead also who can just mentor them or get the work done, train them, mentor them, right? but don't save money on that. Okay, you got very junior people and you don't have anyone to
Look
train,
after
look
them.
after them, right?
Got it.
Then saving money will be a problem. So I think this is how. So don't compromise on that, because that is going to affect your deliveries and the time. And time is money here. And tech is like all about efforts and people only. Like you end up spending on them only. And if you don't not getting delivery, then it's a problem. Even the vendors or teams, or go, if you're not clear about the deliverables or the skill or the reputation of the vendor or whatever, right? Have proper agreements with them, sit with them, just make them clear that we don't know anything, this is what we want. You can have a very you know like very you can say very solid or concrete agreement. Okay, this is what we want, your own custom agreement also, like just say we don't know what you are going to do, but this is what we want. So I think that helps. And go for trials. So there are so many people, they help with the trials also. Agencies give people on trial also. So just try all these things and then go. So I think there are ways you can, just do a take very wise decisions.
Got
Right.
it. Any particular learnings from the GTD concept that you like
Yeah,
a lot?
right. So it is like prioritization, right? So prioritization is not like one time. It's not a one-time thing. It's like daily you have to sit in with your list according to your business or like stakeholders or what is going on in your own team. This is something I've seen. I maintain a list. I use some tool or something, and then I'll prioritize multiple times a day, depending upon what kind of meeting or discussion I have had, or maybe what thoughts I am running. So this is something I do. So prioritization is something what I have learned from GTD. And there is one more thing that I have learned. That is something I follow. I tell you, don't force anyone. Uh, but I've shared like with a couple of people where I've seen like they are interested. So one is like P0, P1 is okay. Okay, you prioritize, then you delegate. You keep the things that you have to do, then you start delegating.
Right.
Right? This is what you learn, right? I've learned one more thing. That is my own thing actually. That is like if you feeling that energy right now or not. Suppose it's a P0 for today, and there are P1 and P2 in my list.
Yeah.
But right now, somewhere I'm feeling energy to work on the P2 right now. I'm like, yeah, today I'll touch the P2 work. I got interest, but so then I'll pick P2, because now P2, why? I'll not work on P0 because I'll not feel like working on that P0. I'll not touch it because I'll not be doing justice with that, right? I'll pick P2.
So out of P0, P1, P2, which is the higher?
P0 is the higher one.
P0 is the highest important one.
Highest important one. So if I'm not feeling that energy for today for the P0, I'll not pick.
It's okay.
I'll pick P1 or P2, low
Got it.
priority wala. Okay, because somewhere I'm aligned with that. I've been thinking. Suppose I got some thought, and I'm thinking, and I got some idea also, but that is aligned with P2. I'll pick the P2. So this is something my own, and that I think that works really well actually.
You try to work through the resistance
Yeah.
rather than against it.
Right. But but this works only when you have the liberty, you have the freedom.
Correct.
When
You
you
have
are
the control.
So, and also you have the position actually. Suppose you are a CXO, CTO of that liberty, okay, you can work. But if you're working as a small team
For
or something,
someone or a
right,
junior.
then yeah, so they will like whatever is assigned, they will have to work, right? So limitation is there.
That does happen. Looking at the current state of how vibe coding has changed a lot of things,
Right.
right? Do you see a trend where people like you would be brought in
Right.
just to clean up the AI generated code? Have you seen any kind of insurgence in that so far?
Not so far, actually, not now. But I think going forward, this could be a problem, and this kind of requirements might start coming up. That's the reason I always suggest people just for the vibe coding can be used just to create an MVP or POC.
Yeah.
You're trying something, do that.
Great.
But for the actual coding and development, it's not advisable actually.
Right.
Because
Not gone entirely vibe coding.
No. For MVP, it is really good actually. You get fast,
Results, yeah.
right?
You can go live, you can check things.
Right. It's advisable to go with vibe coding only for that, right? You're saving time and money. So, yeah. But going forward, I think we'll start getting those kind of requirements. We have something in place and we'll have to clean up or rewrite. I think rewrite only, right? So, and I don't know, like maybe there could be advancement in tech. The kind of AI is also evolving. So there could be some AI tools doing the same thing.
Okay.
Cleaning up the mess, right?
But let's see, I mean, the whole point of like the current AI generation boom is they themselves are figuring things out.
Yeah, there.
Like
Right.
recently, there was a Claude release
Right.
that sort of shook the market. There was a big stock sell-off. People
Right.
were saying, SaaS products are just done.
Right.
But obviously, 3 days later, everything settles down.
Right.
People realize, okay, it's not really that dramatic.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
markets do react.
Right. Right. See why it is. So why it is happening, like the good and bad things with AI, because now it's not just a hype. Actually, people are actually using it. Even common people, like they not even any field, actually the tech or non-tech, they have using Chat GPT or any other tool, right?
Yeah.
So they've started seen the magic.
Yeah.
They know how it works, right?
Right.
So I think that's the reason. So now I've seen the taste. So everybody is trying. So somewhere they have started relying on AI now.
Right.
People, right? So it's helping, which is good only actually. People have started accepting them. Then I think it will evolve and people will be using only.
Got it.
So it's good only.
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. Lovely. So, any particular message to any group of listeners
Right.
that you want to give?
Yeah. So I'll say maybe for the founders, I'll give a message. See, tech is good only when it is aligned, with what you're doing. Don't overspend. Just work on the priorities. Focus on the priority that you want. Just the only way you can go with random tech is in case you want to do some gimmick, something. Then it's advisable. Okay, just do it, and for the sake of feel good factor. But yes, it should be a sensible call.
Right.
But otherwise, whatever you spend or whatever expenses are there in terms of team or the tech, somewhere they help only. It's not an expense. It's if properly done, they're like investment only. They are going to help.
Yeah.
And invest in people is something I will say.
Yeah.
And as a soft skill, just go over the team thing, right? That really helps.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay then. Thank you so much for watching. And we are proactively looking for guests just like Anil who are building something, have built something. So be it a startup, be it your own family business, be it an NGO, being an organization, be it literally anything. If you are building something important, we are here to listen to your story. Please feel free to fill out the form right below the description and we will see you on the other side. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.